All right, everybody, welcome back to the JMAR pod. This is episode 2, and today I am joined by a very special guest, Gian.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Today's topic is going to be about social norms and manners.
Okay, starting off with, in my opinion, the most important topic is definitely bathroom etiquette. Jay, what's your opinion on bad bathroom etiquette?
I would say, for example, not flushing the toilet after you're done doing your business, leaving the toilet seat up, not cleaning up the toilet after you're done.
Definitely.
Stuff like that, just not leaving the place better than where you found it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, definitely not wiping, like, the toilet seat before and after, just in case someone had a bad mess, or, you know, if you had a bad mess, you got to clean it up.
So let's start with the very first thing. Whenever you walk into the bathroom and you say you gotta go number 2, whenever you sit down, do you wipe the seat before you sit down, or you just go down there and just do your business?
Yeah, of course. Especially because of coronavirus and everything, kind of got me aware of all the germs that's been around. So just a quick wipe to the toilet seat is all you need, just to avoid a little more germs.
Yeah, definitely. Just a quick wipe is really all you need. That's what I think.
Yeah, of course. Like, and then just some other things, just like after you're done, just like clean it off if you made a mess, or just like for the next person, it's nice.
Make sure to flush.
And always wash your hands. Speaking of washing your hands, always make sure to wash your hands before you eat.
Yeah, man. Sometimes I see people and they just walk right out of the bathroom after doing their business. They don't even care to wash their hands. And I find that pretty freaking nasty. Like, how do you, like, walk around with all those germs and it's just nasty. Like, especially
and then now you're about to
eating.
go to a plate, and then now you got your nasty hands on a plate with fork, knife. And then also, like, now that we're talking about eating, do you use a soup spoon or a salad fork?
To be honest, it really depends on the occasion. If I'm at like a really fancy restaurant, then no. If I was at like just a casual, like a 5-4 or like a regular restaurant, no. Because I was taught about like, you know, the salad knife and like, no, the salad fork and the forks. There's like 3 kinds of forks. There's a bunch of different kinds of utensils. Yeah. But I don't see a purpose in doing any of that. Just eat your food, right?
Yeah, of course. And like I kind of see it where, like, you know, you don't want to get some food on different food, and I kind of respect that. But it just depends on how fancy your meal is. It's all about impression more than enjoyment.
Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that manners are set aside from that. Even though you don't use all those utensils, you still have people that you most likely are eating with, which is why it's important to chew with your mouth closed. Don't talk while you're eating. Don't interrupt others. Make others feel included. That is what I remember from while I was being taught how to use all those utensils. They also taught me like how to eat and interact at their dinner table. Can you recall?
Yeah, of course. Like, one of the biggest things my mom ever taught me is when you're eating, bring the food to your mouth, not your mouth to the food. So don't go scrape up like a caveman. You know, we've evolved from that. So just make sure you're not grossing others out while you're eating. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd also like to bring up, just as we've talked about all these other topics, I think just like might as well head into socializing. Definitely when you get into a social event, you're going to need to introduce yourself, really make sure, like, first impressions are everything. That's what they say. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, no, I definitely can agree. The first thing you should always do is introduce yourself, because if you don't, then you're most likely not going to talk to that person at all unless they introduce themselves or they ask you a question. But then again, you don't know their name. It's not really like the best way to start off your life with somebody, because that is the first time you're meeting somebody, and it's always a good idea to introduce yourself. And if you're a antisocial person, you should definitely it's just a small hi or hello, my name is, and that's it. And then you don't have to talk to them again, or if you'd like to, you can. What do you think?
Or even like any other social event, like, you know, if you bump into somebody, say sorry. Like, you know, nobody's bigger than nobody. And if they want to start yelling at you, be the bigger person. Then, you know, you'll get some good respect on your name. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, no, definitely. I work in customer service, so I come across a lot of rude people, rude for no reason. And in our job, we're supposed to be happy and helpful, but for some reason, they just are snappy, rude, talk back, and it's just extremely infuriating. But you got to keep a nice smile on. But especially in road rage, dude. In road rage, you really got to be careful because people are crazy.
Yeah, of course. Like, I think that might be one of the biggest because not only, like, does your emotions matter, but you're putting your life on the line every time that you or somebody else has road rage. Like, there are so many cases where, like, a driver will get mad at a person, cutting them off. Like, the other day, I had a scenario where I was getting onto the highway, and I didn't have a lot of room to cut in because it was, like, the merged lane, it closed the 2 lanes, I had to go on 1. So this dude, I get immediately into the left lane because I want to get out of the way. This guy comes, runs up on me, cuts me off, and then, like, you know, I'm also angry, but I don't want to do anything because that'll just lead to a worser scenario. Don't you agree? Don't you agree, Jay?
Yep. I have never honked at anybody in my life, or I would say I've never gone through road rage. But that's also because I drive like a grandma. I use my turn signals. I never speed. I come to a complete stop at stop signs, which is pretty rare for some reason. Whenever I drive with people and they're like the passengers, they always are like, "What are you doing? Go over the speed limit. Stop at stop signs." Stuff like that. No, don't. Why are you stopping at stop signs? And they say, yeah, I drive like a grandma. But I've never been pulled over. And majority of the people that are talking to me, telling me how to drive, have been pulled over. And so I can say that the way that I drive, I can confidently say that I have never gone through somebody being pissed at me while I drive, or me being pissed at somebody else while I drive. But I think that's only because I am driving like a grandma, which I think is the right way. What about you, John?
Yeah, of course. Like, I wouldn't even call it driving like a grandma. That's the proper right way to drive. That's why we have laws. And even I have personal experience, especially when I first got my driver's license. I wasn't so grandma-like. I did like to speed. I would stop at stop signs, but it definitely led me on a path. Like, I've had a ticket. It's not fun.
You've been pulled over?
It's just not stuff you want. Yeah, I have. Not for speeding, but that's a different story for a different day.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for today's podcast on the JMAR pod for episode 2 of Social Norms and Etiquettes for Life. John, would you like to say anything else?
Thank you for having me. This was a great moment, and I hope to have another one soon.
Of course. Next podcast, you're invited.
Thank you. Right. Jer Bear out.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Have a good day. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Opinion.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
My opinion, most important.
Paper. I just wiped. I can. But it's really not worth it because you can die. I was trying to go with, they could just shoot you.
You don't want to say that. No, I'm just gonna.